Hi everyone, it is Thursday. It is time for some English on our little film Marshmallows. People seem to be enjoying it this week, which is great. A bit of a mix of activities. And today's activity is going to be a bit of a two-parter. I like these two-part ones. Same sort of thing today and tomorrow, something similar to finish the week off. So, usually I'll ask you to watch the film again. If you want to watch the film again, of course, you can watch the film again. But more than that, because we are doing news reports today and tomorrow, what I'd like you to do is instead of watching the film again, I'd like you to watch a BBC bite-sized video. We do these all the time, obviously. And this one is one about writing news articles. See if you can guess at the beginning what kind of what the story is. It's from a famous story. But watch the little video on BBC Bitesize, and it tells you all the sorts of things you need to include when you're writing a news report or a news article, because that is what we're going to be having a go at today. So on that page, there's also a little quiz. So watch the video very carefully. It tells you all the features, all the things you need to include. And then there's a little bit of a quiz to see if you can remember it as well. So pause this video, go and watch that video, and then come back to me again. All right, pause this video now. All right, so hopefully that made sense. It was obviously Goldilocks and the Three Bears on the bite-sized video there. Hopefully you got that, and hopefully you already had a bit of an idea of the sorts of things that you might need to include when you're writing a news article. So, got a couple of little extra activities to do before we get on to writing our own. This is something I found. It's a very short, it's not a full news article, but it's just a paragraph. And why I put this on is it gets you thinking about those 5 W's. It gets you thinking about who, what, where, when, and why. They are really important things, and they form the basics, the main building blocks of any newspaper article. So what I found is this little one about Tim Peake. Tim Peake is a famous astronaut. I'll read that out in a second. And then you've got a bit of a table split up into who, what, where, when, and why. You have to look at the news article, the news report, check that, and then pick out if it's got a who, what, where, when, and why, and what it is in that story. So, for example, I'll read it out first, and then I'll give you a for example. So, the world today. Tim Peake has returned from his famous mission as the first astronaut from the European Space Agency to stay at the International Space Station. He returned to Earth 2 days ago after completing 125 million kilometers in orbit over 195 days. He went into space to complete maintenance on the space station and launched from the ESA in Cologne. So, lots of information, a few big words there, a bit scientific because it's to do with space and astronauts and things like that. But what you have to do is try and break it down and pick out the bits for each feature. So I'm going to obviously do the easiest one as an example for you. So feature, who. Well, the who in this feature, in this article, is Tim Peake. Okay, he's the astronaut. You might want to put that as well. He was the first, Tim Peake, the first astronaut. All right, so you can put that in. And then it's up to you to try and have a go at the other W's there. Pick out the bits from that article. So I put the link for this on Class Dojo page if you want to print one out. If you don't want to print it out and you just want to do it in your books, that's fine as well. I don't mind how you do it, but you can pause the video now and have a go at that one. All right, so hopefully you were able to pick the who, the what, the where, the when, and why, the 5 W's. If you can put them, and if you remember to put them in your own news article, it means you're doing all the right things. So that's why we did that one. Coming up next, I've got some examples of some news reports because you're going to be making your own. So I'll read through these first, and then I'll let you know what yours is. Yours is going to be very similar to the next 2 examples. Okay, so I'll read through these and then I'll tell you what we're doing next. So US Today, deadly dragon on the loose. Yesterday, Louisville, USA was under attack from a ferocious dragon. The vicious dragon left a trail of destruction after it scorched the streets with its powerful flames and left claw marks up the sides of many high-rise buildings. Not only that, many people were taken to the nearest hospital after being left with third-degree burns. Chris told US Today that he felt very afraid and scared for his life when he was faced with the beast. He said he was feeling petrified about the near-death experience. I couldn't believe what I was seeing in front of me. I thought it was going to gobble me up. I haven't had an ounce of sleep since this sighting, as I fear it may return. The city remains under lockdown procedures until the monster has been captured and repairs have been carried out, making the city safe again. All right, so that's a news report about a dragon on the loose in Louisville, USA. So you got some information there. Before I move on, I'm not going to go pick these out, but maybe have a little look at that yourself and try and think what the who, the what, the where, the when, and the why might be in that one. That'll be an extra little thing to have a look at. Got another one for you. If I can move our slideshow on. Here we go. So this one is another news report. It's a similar one to that dragon one, slightly different though. This is Daily Wesley brimming with news. Monster sighting causes mass panic at school. Reports of monster sightings at Wesley Methodist Primary School have sparked scenes of panic in Radcliffe. Eyewitnesses claim to have seen the gigantic monster on 5 separate occasions in and around the school in the last few days. School leaders have called for experts to deal with the huge, destructive menace. Head teacher Mr. Lonsdale said, "This is a very serious issue. We are not just talking about dealing with a small problem like dogs eating homework. This is a scary situation." Maths genius Mrs. Jones echoed his statements, saying, "If this is true, then people could be seriously injured or even killed." Monster expert Sparky McBlaze said, "It is possible that the marshmallow monster has returned to its native habitat after years away in order to start a family. In a few years, we could have an epidemic of these monsters plaguing the town." Year 3-4 children from Wesley Methodist Primary School have been studying the marshmallow monster and could be the ones to solve this problem. If you spot the dragon, monster, or have any more information, please call for an instant reward. All right, so there you go. That is the reports of a monster sighting at Wesley Methodist Primary School. That is what you are going to be doing. You are writing your own news article about the marshmallow monster being seen in and around Wesley Methodist Primary School. All right, that is your task for today. So to help you with this, a little bit of a planning sheet. So here we go. We've got it all kind of split out on this sheet for you. And this is something I'd like you to do before you actually start writing your article. This way, it'll all make sense. It'll flow a lot better and you'll make sure you've not missed anything out. So some of the things you need the name of your newspaper, call it what you want. You need a headline. So the headline has to be catchy and get the people's attention about what your news report is actually about. Okay, you might want to use some good, powerful adjectives in there. You might want to put some alliteration in there, maybe a rhyme, maybe a joke sort of headline. It is up to you. Think of a good, eye-catching headline that makes me and other readers want to read your report. Next, you have to kind of go through these bits one at a time. And this is looking at the 5 W's again. So you got to think who was involved, what happened. So you split that up first, then this happened, then next, and then. Where did it all take place? When did it all happen? So that's all the sorts of things that you need to put in your introduction paragraph. Okay, so do this plan first because it'll help you make sense of everything. Then you'll have noticed that in our report, especially that last one, we interviewed some people. This is really important in a news article because it gets you to find out from the people that were there that are involved. You can find out what's actually going on or what's happened. So in that case, we interviewed, it was Mr. Lonsdale and Mrs. Jones both commented. They both said something. That's what you need to do. So you need to put in here, who will you interview and how are they involved? So who are they? And what did they actually say? And if you put what somebody says, you'll remember this from our story writing earlier in the year, you have to put our inverted commas, our speech marks around what they say and use the right punctuation for that. So once you've done your introduction and explained your story, told us what's going on and what's happened, then you've got your interviews and what they said. And then to finish off, you've got a bit of a final paragraph. What are the characters up to now? So what's happening now? What's the latest at the school with the monster, with the teachers or the children? And what might happen in the future? So in that one that I read out, I put in about year 3, 4 being the ones to sort it out because they've been studying it. You might think of something else that could happen in the future. Maybe they'll have to call in some experts or the fire brigade or the police or the army or someone. I don't know. You can tell me what might happen next at the end of your report. Okay, so one more time, your job is to write a newspaper report about the marshmallow monster being seen and it causing a bit of damage in and around Wesley School. You need to plan it using this sheet. I'll put the link on Class Dojo. If you don't want to use the sheet and you just want to write out in your books as a plan, that's fine as well. But I do want a plan from you. And then you can have a go at a final newspaper report as well. So you can organize it and write it out. Okay. And there is a template for that as well on Class Dojo that you can use if you want to. It's totally up to you if you want to use it or not. Okay, that's it. That's the first part of our reporting English lessons. Get that one done, and then there's going to be a second half to this tomorrow. Good luck with it, and I look forward to reading all your reports. See you soon, guys.